The ocean feels like an entirely different planet, a mysterious and alien world teeming with both fascinating and fearsome creatures. Get ready, because today we're diving into the depths to uncover some of the most chilling monsters lurking below. Here are 15 of the most terrifying deep-sea creatures you'll ever encounter. Number 15. Helmet jellyfish. And if that jellyfish didn't creep you out enough, how about another one? This is the helmet jellyfish, which basically looks like a see-through helmet. While the Deepsteria usually has no stinging cells, this one is unusual for its surprisingly large stinging cells. This is why they're quite an invasive species, and seeing one of these nearby is not good news for fishermen. The Deepsteria likes to eat the same fish which humans eat, like cod, haddock, and hake. As you can imagine, humans don't really enjoy eating this particular fish. The lifespan of these fish is also quite peculiar. While most jellyfish only live for months, one of these can go on for 30 years. Their body size is 12 inches, about the size of a ruler, and they are 90% water. Professor Mork at the Norwegian University of Science and Technology has been studying the effects of the booming number of jellyfish. They're very efficient predators, he says. The population can grow to huge sizes in relatively few years, and they eat the same food as the young stages of the commercial fishes. And in addition, they eat small and young stages of those competitors. These fish are found in almost every ocean and sea in the world, particularly in the Norwegian. Thankfully, it's not likely that you'll ever bump into one of these, as they'll be 2,700 meters underwater and don't like the light. Number 14. Armored sea robin. The fish is the armored sea robin, which is one of the few creatures on Earth to have its own natural armor. The armor is the natural 4 rows of bony plates along its body. This fish simply walks along the seafloor by using its fin rays. It has a dark red body, like the red robin, and translucent fins. They also have barbels coming out of their mouths, which help them to sense food. These barbels act like tiny fingers, allowing the fish to feel around in the sand and detect small prey like crustaceans and worms. The armored sea robin is also known for the strange croaking or grunting noises it makes, which are produced by vibrating its swim bladder. Scientists believe these sounds may be used to communicate with other sea robins or to ward off predators. Its bony plates not only serve as protection but also give it a prehistoric appearance, making it look like a creature from another era. Despite its tough exterior, the fish is surprisingly agile, using its fin rays to walk across the ocean floor with precision. Its translucent fins, which resemble delicate wings, add an almost ethereal quality to its otherwise rugged appearance. The fish usually travels in the deepest parts of the ocean, so it's rarely coming up for contact with humans. They normally are found in tropical waters, particularly off the coast of Costa Rica. Because these creatures are so elusive, that's just about as much as we know. We don't even roughly know the numbers of how many of these are around. That being said, it does occasionally get caught in the nets of a deep-sea fishing trawler. But the fish don't make good food either, as their bony bodies mean there's not a lot of meat on these little fellas. What would be your response if you found one of these goofy-looking guys on your plate? Number 13. Deepsteria. And it wouldn't be a proper list of underwater monsters without at least one jellyfish. Our next creature is the Deepsteria, which is an incredibly surreal-looking jellyfish. In fact, it's so surreal-looking that it's difficult to describe. The website Nerdist thinks it kind of looks like a ghost of a plastic bag lined with a network of vessels. Other online commenters have compared them to the ghosts you see in Pac-Man. But that doesn't even fully describe this fish, as it's also a shapeshifter and can transform from its ghost plastic bag form to something which looks more like a lava lamp. Its movements are mesmerizing, as it drifts through the water with an almost hypnotic grace, expanding and contracting like a living parachute. Unlike most jellyfish, the Deepsteria lacks a central bell, giving it a unique, flowing appearance that seems to defy the laws of nature. Its translucent body allows you to see the intricate network of canals inside, which transport nutrients throughout its form. This jellyfish is also incredibly fragile, and even the slightest disturbance in the water can cause its delicate body to tear. Despite its ghostly appearance, the Deepsteria is a highly efficient predator, using its balloon-like body to trap unsuspecting prey. Scientists are still puzzled by its behavior and life cycle, as so few specimens have been observed in the wild. Some researchers believe it may play a crucial role in deep-sea ecosystems, but much about its diet and interactions with other species remains a mystery. One of the strangest things about these creatures is their lack of stinging tentacles. Instead of stinging its prey, it simply traps them inside its balloon-shaped body. Another strange thing about these creatures is that isopods sometimes live inside these bags and are therefore protected from other predators. This fish has only been discovered in the 1960s, and since then, it's only been spotted a couple of times. They're usually found in the Pacific, Antarctic, and Mexican Gulf. Thankfully, they stay 3,000 feet below the ocean. It's difficult to find out any information on how powerful its sting is to humans. Not many people seem to want to find out. Number 12. Zombie starfish. Let's start off with the zombie starfish, or what's better known as the sunflower sea star. This starfish has a total of 24 arms. Yeah, 24. The fish comes in a range of colors, including purple, brown, orange, and yellow. Apparently, as a child, this starfish only has 5 arms, but over time grows another 19. The Monterey Bay Aquarium describes this creature as a voracious predator, and when on the prowl for food, the sunflower star swings along on its 15,000 tube feet, moving at the remarkable speed of just over 40 inches per minute. These sea stars are not only fast but also incredibly strong, capable of prying open the shells of clams and mussels with ease. Their appetite is insatiable, and they are known to devour entire kelp forests, causing significant damage to marine ecosystems. In fact, their presence can completely alter the balance of underwater habitats, as they outcompete other predators for food. Unfortunately, sunflower sea stars have been severely impacted by sea star wasting syndrome, a disease that causes their limbs to disintegrate and their bodies to melt away. This has led to a dramatic decline in their population, particularly along the Pacific coast. Scientists are working to understand the disease and its connection to rising ocean temperatures, as the loss of these creatures could have devastating effects on marine biodiversity. They can even see with their own legs. Each limb has an eye spot that's sensitive to light. Their tube feet have a powerful grip, and their prey, usually snails, often struggle to break free. They can also spit out their own stomach, wrap it around their prey, dissolve it, and then digest it. These creatures can swallow an entire sea urchin in one go. But even more terrifying is the damage it does itself. Some of these starfish have been known to literally pull off their own arms, and these arms eventually take on a life of their own. You can creepily see the leg crawling away from the body. Don't forget, each leg has its own eye so you can see where you're going. The limbs become zombie-like and drift through the sea. Number 11. Monkfish. While humans don't eat jellyfish, they certainly do eat monkfish. It's even quite a delicacy. It's often referred to as the poor man's lobster because of its similar taste but much cheaper price. It costs roughly $2 a pound. While it could cost $30 a pound for lobster, the Japanese also love ankimo, which is a sushi dish of the monkfish's liver. Despite its culinary appeal, the monkfish is not exactly a beauty. Its appearance is often described as grotesque, with a wide, flattened head and a gaping mouth filled with sharp, needle-like teeth. The monkfish uses a unique hunting technique, employing a modified spine on its head that acts as a lure to attract prey, much like an anglerfish. This fishing rod dangles a fleshy appendage that mimics the movements of small fish or other prey, drawing them close enough to be swallowed whole. Monkfish are opportunistic feeders, consuming anything they can fit into their mouths, including fish, crustaceans, and even seabirds. Their ability to camouflage themselves on the ocean floor makes them highly effective ambush predators. Interestingly, their skin is so tough that fishermen often need special tools to remove it before preparing the fish for cooking. Its face is often compared to a frog's, as in other cultures this fish is known as fishing frogs, frogfish, goosefish, and even sea devils. The monkfish is typically found in the North Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, especially in the Gulf of St. Lawrence at the east coast of Canada and in North Carolina. But don't worry about bumping into them. They travel at 200 meters underwater and sometimes down as far as a kilometer below the sea's waves. Now it's time for today's topic. In June 2025, a deep-sea exploration team operating off the coast of South Georgia Island in the southern Atlantic Ocean made a discovery that has scientists both stunned and unsettled. While piloting a submersible drone named Orpheus 7, researchers from the British Antarctic Survey were mapping uncharted seabed ridges nearly 9,000 feet below the surface. For most of the mission, the footage was routine, until the live feed suddenly blacked out for 3 seconds. When the stream resumed, what appeared on screen was both mesmerizing and terrifying. A massive yellow-gold eyeball staring directly into the drone's lens. The scara showed intricate organic patterns unlike any known marine species, and the estimated size, judging by the drone's depth sensors, suggested the eye alone was nearly 5 feet in diameter. The crew immediately recalled the drone, which returned slightly damaged, with deep scratches on its exterior. While the footage has not been officially released to the public, leaked images have sparked wild theories, ranging from a giant squid subspecies to a prehistoric creature thought to be extinct. The British Antarctic Survey has declined further comment, citing ongoing analysis. But one thing is clear, something enormous is alive in the deep, and it just blinked back. Number 10. Sinister siphonophore. Our next creature looks like a spaghetti monster. As you may be aware, there's a church of the flying spaghetti monster which was created to poke fun at religion. They jokingly said that they worship the flying spaghetti monster. But this idea isn't as bizarre as it seems. This fish certainly looks like a spaghetti monster, albeit not flying. These creatures are difficult to find. Recent footage was taken off the coast of Angola by offshore oil workers. This footage was taken 4,000 feet under the sea. What makes siphonophores even more fascinating is their sheer size. Some species can grow to over 130 feet long, making them one of the longest creatures in the ocean. Each individual organism in the colony, called a zooid, has a specialized role, such as feeding, reproduction, or movement, and they all depend on one another to survive. The colony is connected by a central stem, and the zooids are so interdependent that they cannot live on their own. Their bioluminescent abilities are another remarkable feature, as they can light up in the dark depths of the ocean to either attract prey or confuse predators. Despite their delicate appearance, siphonophores are efficient hunters, using their tentacles to sting and capture small fish and plankton. The tentacles are equipped with nematocysts, which are tiny, venomous cells that paralyze their prey almost instantly. Scientists are still studying these creatures to understand how such a complex colony functions so seamlessly as a single unit. The strangest thing about these creatures is that it's not even one single fish. Instead of one big spaghetti monster, what you're actually looking at is an entire colony of corals and jellyfish, working together as a tandem unit. So similarly to a colony of ants, these creatures are all working together and behave as if they're a singular organism. Nothing emphasizes the phrase stronger together than the siphonophore. These fish alone would be hunted within an instant if they were caught swimming on their own, but when they present themselves as these huge spaghetti monsters, other fish might think twice before going near them. So which is scarier? The idea that this was one big monster, or the fact that it's thousands of different creatures all working together? We're not entirely sure. Number 9. Hagfish. We're now moving on to something pretty darn terrifying. To put it gently, the hagfish is not very easy on the eye and looks more like a snake. There are a number of bizarre facts about these fish. For a start, they've not one but two hearts. Also, it's so stringy that it can even tie itself in knots. These fish are not really known as predators and predominantly feast on the leftover carcasses of other fish. They have an extraordinary ability to detect dead or dying animals from a distance, using their highly sensitive sense of smell and touch. Once they locate a carcass, they can burrow deep into it, consuming it from the inside out, which has earned them the nickname slime eels. Despite their gruesome eating habits, hagfish play a vital role in the ocean's ecosystem by cleaning up decaying matter. Their slime, which can expand up to 10,000 times its original volume in water, is one of the most unique defense mechanisms in the animal kingdom. This slime is made up of protein threads and mucins, making it incredibly strong and elastic. Researchers are studying it as a potential alternative to synthetic materials like nylon and plastic. Hagfish are also incredibly resilient, able to survive in low-oxygen environments and withstand extreme pressure in the deep sea. Their eating habits are incredibly strange. They can sometimes go up to months without food, and they absorb nutrients through their skin. But the most fascinating aspect about this fish is its slime. Scientists believe that the slime from these fish is so stretchy that it could be used for tights and athletic wear. The fish use this slime to ward off predators and to stop other fish from potentially eating their food. If you attack this fish, it will produce this slippery slime and be able to break free of any predator's grip. And just when you thought that slime wasn't disgusting enough, here are some more fun facts. To prevent a buildup of this slime, this fish sneezes just like we do. It also sometimes deliberately ties itself in a knot to stop the slime from dripping onto its face. And just when you thought you'd like to forget that this creature ever existed, there's a Hagfish Day. This is on the third Wednesday of October every year, so make sure to mark that date down in your calendars. Number 8. Ghost shark. If you're afraid of ghosts and you're afraid of sharks, then you might not like the ghost shark. Well, technically they're not sharks. They're a species of fish closely related to sharks and not very friendly creatures. The ghost part of the name is down to their scaly and ethereal quality, which gives it a ghost-like appearance. These creatures are rarely seen by humans, as they inhabit the deep sea, where light barely penetrates. Their pale, almost translucent skin adds to their eerie mystique, making them look like something out of a horror movie. Ghost sharks have a unique sensory system, with lateral lines running along their bodies that help them detect vibrations and movements in the water. They also have a venomous spine in front of their dorsal fin, which they use for defense against predators. Unlike most fish, their skeletons are made of cartilage rather than bone, a trait they share with their shark relatives. Their diet consists mainly of small fish, mollusks, and crustaceans, which they crush with their powerful tooth plates. They live 400 to 2,000 feet deep into the sea. They're also called chimeras, which is a fictional monster in Greek mythology with a goat's head, lion's body, and serpent's tail. Unlike sharks, they have tooth plates instead of real teeth. They have sharp upper jaw teeth plates and a flat lower jaw teeth plate. Their teeth don't fall out like sharks, but actually continue to grow. Perhaps most bizarrely of all, they have retractable reproductive organs on their heads. And like the hagfish, this fish also has its own day. October 30th is International Ghost Shark Day, which is fittingly very close to Halloween. Number 7. Barrel eye fish. The barrel eye fish gets its name from, you guessed it, its weird barrel-shaped eyes. The fish also has a transparent head that fills with fluid. These are ambush predators. They'll stay perfectly still and then quickly pounce upon their prey. What makes this fish even more fascinating is that its barrel-shaped eyes can rotate within its transparent head, allowing it to look both forward and upward. This unique adaptation helps it spot prey above while remaining motionless in the water. The green tint in its eyes acts as a filter, reducing the glare from sunlight that penetrates the ocean's surface, making it easier to detect bioluminescent prey. Scientists believe this fish evolved its transparent head to protect its sensitive eyes from the stinging tentacles of siphonophores, which it often steals food from. Despite its eerie appearance, the barrel eye fish is relatively small, growing to only about 6 inches in length. Its slow, deliberate movements help it conserve energy in the deep sea, where food is scarce. These fish prey on jellies, other siphonophores, crustaceans, and zooplankton. You'll find these sea creatures 2,000 to 2,600 feet in the Atlantic, Pacific, and Indian Oceans. Its big tubular eyes help it see underwater. Also, its transparent head means that the fish can even look upwards too. The 2 holes on its head are not actually eyes but act more like a nose. This fish is one of the newest discoveries to scientists and wasn't a confirmed species until 2004. Number 6. Japanese spider crabs. Okay, so if you have a fear of spiders and crabs, maybe look away. The Japanese spider crab, as you can see, is a crab with a spider-like shape. As the name suggests, these are mainly found along the Japanese coast, but it doesn't have 8 legs. This crab has 8 legs for walking and 2 at the front to hunt. These front claws are incredibly strong and can easily crush shells or even injure predators if threatened. Despite their intimidating appearance, Japanese spider crabs are surprisingly gentle and are known to scavenge for food rather than actively hunt. They feed on dead animals, algae, and small marine creatures, making them an important part of the ocean's ecosystem as natural cleaners. Their long legs are covered in small spines and bumps, which help them blend into their surroundings by camouflaging with rocks and seaweed. During molting, when they shed their old shells, they are particularly vulnerable to predators, so they often hide in crevices or under rocks. These crabs are also known to decorate their shells with sponges and other materials to further enhance their camouflage. This main body is about 12 inches, which is the size of a ruler. Its legs, however, can span up to 12 times that, 12 feet from claw to claw. The biggest ever Japanese spider crab was found in 2009. It was a male with a 12-foot-long span and weighed 41 pounds. They decided to call this truly terrifying creature Crabzilla, and it's now housed in a sea life center in the Netherlands. Number 5. Megamouth shark. Next up, we have the megamouth shark, and this time we have ourselves an actual shark. Imagine a shark whose head is bigger than its abdomen. The megamouth shark was first discovered in 1976 off the coast of the Hawaiian island of Oahu. The fish became entangled in a parachute sea anchor of the U.S. Navy vessel. It took another 8 years before the second one was found. There have only been 64 confirmed sightings of this beast and 8 unconfirmed sightings. These sharks are known for their massive, gaping mouths, which can open up to 4 feet wide, allowing them to filter feed on large quantities of plankton. Despite their size, they are relatively slow swimmers, moving at a leisurely pace of about 1.5 miles per hour. Their mouths are lined with bioluminescent tissue, which scientists believe may help attract prey in the dark depths of the ocean. Megamouth sharks are typically found at depths of 120 to 1,500 meters, making them elusive and difficult to study. They are also known to migrate vertically, spending the day in deeper waters and coming closer to the surface at night. Their soft, flabby bodies and lack of strong muscles make them poorly equipped for fast movements, but their filter feeding strategy ensures they can consume enough food to survive. Interestingly, their teeth are tiny and not used for hunting, as they rely entirely on their ability to filter feed. The director at the Center for Sustainable Tropical Fisheries and Aquaculture told Australian Geographic, they are believed to follow the deep scattering layer in the open ocean that's made up of plankton and associated organisms that migrate toward the surface at night and descend during the day. We know that they feed on krill, crustaceans, and jellyfish. However, it's important not to judge these sharks based on their looks. These sharks are surprisingly friendly and pose no real threat to humans. Well, friendly by shark standards at least. Don't expect a cuddle from these guys. Number 4. Anglerfish. So if none of the creatures so far have given you nightmares yet, our last throw of the dice is the anglerfish. It's quite possibly the ugliest animal on the entire planet. Their enormous mouths, bulging eyes, and crescent-shaped teeth are not the easiest on the eye, to put it lightly. This fish lives completely in the dark and lives 1,500 meters below the sea. Cannot see anything underwater, so it uses its fin rays to sense movement. But the fish doesn't need great eyesight, as it simply lures its prey to itself. The snout looks like a worm, so monkfish and frogfish swim over to it, and then the angler simply pounces and devours its prey. What makes the anglerfish even more terrifying is its ability to swallow prey up to twice its own size, thanks to its highly flexible jaw and expandable stomach. Its bioluminescent lure, which dangles from its head, is powered by bacteria that live symbiotically within the fish. This glowing appendage is not only used to attract prey, but also to communicate with other anglerfish in the pitch-black depths. Females, which are much larger than males, are the hunters, while the males are tiny and solely focused on reproduction. The anglerfish's body is also covered in a slimy, gelatinous layer that helps it glide through the water with minimal resistance. Despite their fearsome appearance, they are surprisingly slow swimmers, relying on ambush tactics rather than speed to catch their prey. Scientists are still puzzled by how these creatures survive in such extreme environments, where food is scarce and temperatures are near freezing. The male anglerfish is parasitic to the females, or as Mental Floss describes it, he's kind of a deadbeat boyfriend. While mating, the male attaches itself to the female and bites her and draws up nutrients from the food. He basically spends his entire life latching onto his girlfriend and fertilizing her eggs. And like most of the fish on this list, there's only so much we know about them. There are only 14 in total of dead anglerfish in natural history museums across the world. One professor of biology in New York told Live Science, sometimes they're caught and they have whole fish in their stomachs. If you touch the stomachs, it's quite squishy, for a lack of a better term. Number 3. Sloans Viperfish. Our next fish is one of the fiercest predators in the sea. Their large fang-like teeth are so big they're not even able to fit inside their mouths. In fact, when it has its teeth closed, the mouth becomes a sort of cage for the prey trapped inside. It also has a light organ, which instead of seeing through the dark, it uses to lure prey. This bioluminescent organ, located near its belly, emits a faint glow that mimics the appearance of smaller fish, tricking unsuspecting prey into coming closer. Once the prey is within striking distance, the fish's lightning-fast reflexes ensure there's no escape. Its teeth are so sharp and angled that even if prey tries to wriggle free, they only get pushed further into the predator's mouth. The viperfish's body is also uniquely adapted to the crushing pressures of the deep sea, allowing it to thrive in depths where few other creatures can survive. Scientists believe its slow metabolism helps it conserve energy in an environment where food is scarce. Don't be fooled by its small size. When it spots its prey, it unhinges its skull. It can open its jaw up to 90 degrees. Then it expands its stomach to the extent that it can swallow prey 60% the size of itself. Again, this fish goes down deep in the ocean. There's only so much we know about them. Number 2. Pacific football fish. The Pacific football fish is one of the few species on this earth which we've never seen alive. Just 31 of these things have been found in the past 100 years. They look absolutely terrifying, and not a lot of thought was put into their name. They're usually found in the Pacific, and they're in the shape of a football. They also have bulbs on their heads, which is helpful as they travel deep into the dark parts of the ocean, sometimes as low as 3,000 feet. These glowing bulbs, known as bioluminescent lures, are used to attract prey in the pitch-black depths of the ocean. The light is produced by symbiotic bacteria living inside the bulb, creating an eerie glow that draws smaller fish closer. Once the prey is within reach, the football fish strikes with its sharp teeth and powerful jaws. Their hunting strategy is incredibly efficient, as they conserve energy by staying still and letting the light do the work. Despite their fearsome appearance, they are surprisingly fragile and cannot survive in shallower waters. The way these animals work is quite extraordinary. The women do all the hunting, and the males are sexual parasites as they fuse themselves to the females. But there's still so much about these guys that we don't know. William Ludt at the Natural History Museum told All That's Interesting, "We don't know a lot about even the basics of how they live. There's still just all these questions, and I think that's what makes it really fascinating, especially to study these deeper water species that occur just out in the open ocean. There's these basic things we don't know about them. We don't really know what they eat. We don't know much about their reproduction systems." Number 1. Sarcastic fringehead. It's not often that you would call a fish sarcastic fringehead. It got given the label sarcastic because of its incredibly aggressive nature. It actually uses its mouth to scare predators and opens and closes its mouth to ward off potential threats. They'll usually fight any threats regardless of how big they are. These fish are known for their dramatic displays, puffing up their mouths to appear larger and more intimidating. Their gaping jaws, lined with sharp teeth, create a spectacle that can scare off even larger predators. Despite their small size, they are fearless and will take on anything that invades their territory, including divers who get too close. Interestingly, their aggression isn't just limited to predators. They've been observed attacking objects like cameras and probes. This behavior makes them one of the most territorial fish in the ocean. The fish features in David Attenborough's Animal Planet. He explains that these fish are exceptionally quarrelsome, but they have to be to defend their living space. They're not only aggressive when hunting, but they're incredibly territorial. When two males are fighting over territory, they wrestle and lock mouths against each other and ironically look like they're kissing. Females are quite selective, so the males are incredibly competitive against one another. The winning male stays put while the loser has to find somewhere else to live. They're only 12 inches high, so again, these are about the same height as a ruler. And that brings us to the end of today's video. So, what do you think? Are you still up for a scuba diving adventure? Or has this video completely changed your mind? There's plenty more content about the strange and fascinating world around us coming your way, so don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned. As always, thanks for watching.